Joining me now to discuss, Kansas Congressman and member of the House Ways and Means Committee, Congressman Ron Estes. Congressman, this to me is one of the most frustrating things, that we have them virtually dead to rights in text messages and we still can't lock it down after block after block after block.
It really is frustrating, and it's disturbing that our IRS, that our federal government, that's supposed to be non-political and nonpartisan, that they actually would be hamstrung by this. Both whistleblowers, there are two whistleblowers that came out, and both of them said very, very similar testimony in terms of the experiences they saw. Was that the Department of Justice and the FBI delayed and they denied moving forward on the investigation. I mean, this goes back to tax returns dating for the year 2014. And what the FBI's done as part of that is delayed and delayed. And instead of allowing the IRS to do legitimate audits for that process, that they've now allowed some of the statute of limitations to run out so that they can't be prosecuted. And so this sweetheart deal that was offered as a plea bargain was a slap on the wrist for Hunter Biden in terms of what he did and what they've uncovered through that process. And I hope the judge turns it down and moves forward from there. Yeah. The frustrating thing as we look at this is that the assistant attorney, U.S. attorney, and their assistants actually looked like they were covering up and not treating the Biden family, and particularly Hunter Biden's in his tax returns, in the manner that they would anybody else's.
Yeah, but Congressman, the bigger thing here is, like, look, there are a number of other bureaucrats that were never elected by anybody that have just been put in power because they've been there long enough. These people are going to collect pensions. They are collecting hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of taxpayer dollars over the course of their careers. And some of them will never be named, and some of them were likely complicit in what is being alleged right now. Is there any mechanism that Congress has to hold these people accountable, strip them of their pensions, positions, and ever reassuring that the American people, they will never serve on an oversight position, ever, ever?
So there's really two avenues now. The things that directly relate to us on the Ways and Means Committee and the IRS are, what are the rules that the FBI should be following, that the Department of Justice should be following in working with the IRS, because we're responsible for oversight of the IRS, making sure that coordination happens and that the right things are done, that the FBI and the DOJ do their job. And also from a standpoint of retaliation. I mean, we've already seen now that the whistleblowers, as well as everybody else who was on the Hunter Biden investigation, have been taken off that case. And what could be termed as anything other than retaliation, you can't describe it any other way. But what also came out of this is not necessarily things that are in our Ways and Means purview, but it applies more for the Judiciary Committee in the House and the Oversight Committee in the House to actually go dig into what is the FBI doing? What is the Department of Justice doing? What is Attorney General doing? And why aren't they doing their job the way they should be doing? And make sure that we on the legislative branch are doing the right oversight of the executive branch.
Right. And had we not won the House, we probably wouldn't know any of this stuff right now. But President Biden actually sat down with a very rare interview, which ended bizarrely enough, with MSNBC's Nicole Wallace. Unsurprisingly, a key topic was left out of the conversation, which, you know, Hunter's always left out of every conversation. Congressman, is there anything that we're going to get out of Joe Biden at all? Is there any mechanism to ask him personally questions, you know, being the president?
Well, that's the sad part about so much of the mainstream media and even social media that actually goes out and they protect President Biden and they protect the whole family. You know how long it took that it's only recently that the media is even talking about that there's a laptop out there. And what the whistleblowers revealed to us was that the FBI verified in 2019 that the laptop was Hunter Biden's. They used his Apple ID. They identified it through his Apple ID account. Yeah. So they were confirmed that it was a Hunter Biden ID. 100%. And yet they tried to bury that through the 2020 election cycle. And even, you know, the so-called intelligence officers or former officers who tried to pitch it as a Russian misinformation campaign. So we need to have the mainstream media step up and do the role that, you know, a free press is supposed to do in a democracy or a democratic republic like ours, to actually address the truth.
Well, we're not going to let it slide here, Congressman. We appreciate you being here very much, sir.
Well, thank you for what you do and keep up the good work. Thank you for having me on.
Enjoy your 4th as well.